gas come up a little bit more early for Zerg, but it looks like he wanted more and more minerals. Gonna have to see what he's gonna be doing with them shortly. But as I was saying before, we are close by air position, so this means, of course, air units are always gonna be really, really good. Banshees, really good. Drops are really, really good. Mutas are really, really good. So I would bet that we are gonna be seeing at least a couple of those things here in this game.
Yeah, I would really think so. But it looks like Pride opening more than standard. Oh, and then there goes the 4th barracks. So, again, typically...
Looks like we might be seeing some more early aggression here from Pride. Looks like some kind of 4-racks pressure early on.
Yeah, typically with these 1-racks FEs, you get a total of 3 barracks afterwards and then gas. But, again, going to 4 barracks and... we'll see if we have a 5th here. Oh my god.
Oh man, Magnificent moved out with a small crew of Zerglings, moved him to that Zelnaga watchtower, got there just in time to see that 4 Marines are already en route to his base. He's going to be just a little bit suspicious of that, so he is now throwing down a Spinecrawler. His Queens are up at his main and his natural, but ooh, I don't know if he's got enough to even be able to defend against these 4 Marines right now. They are going to be coming up. Do we have more on the way? We actually do not.
Yeah, it looks like he's just putting a little bit of pressure on, forcing a lot of Zerglings, actually 12 Zerglings on the way with Zergling speed now.
Yeah, I think you might be able to get off that queen, and that is going to be a huge loss there from Magnificent. That is going to hurt your macro quite a bit. Losing a queen this early on, especially when you get a lot of players that are really, really good. You know, you get these players that are high master or grandmaster level players that have worked out their builds so carefully. They know exactly which larva pop-off they're going to use for what. So a lot of the pro players will say, oh, I know that with my first larva pop-off, I'm just getting drones. I know that... for my second larva inject, I get 1 creep tumor and do 1 inject, and then with that group of lings, I'll get some, or with that group of larva, I'll get some lings, apply pressure, and then my next larva injections I'll use for drones while I'm applying pressure with those Zerglings. So a lot of the very top level players will have very, very, very specific builds, and losing a queen this early on can actually do a lot of damage to some Zerg players.
Yeah, it's really good to point out that some of these builds are so refined and worked out that, you know, when Pride does weird stuff like this, attack with 4 Marines, I mean, nobody attacks with 4 Marines.
Yeah, absolutely, and that I think you're absolutely right that can completely throw you off, and it does happen quite often, and that is going to be one of the things that is going to make the difference between the very high Grandmaster level players and just the Master level players, is the ones that can adapt their builds, that kind of say, you know what, I'm going to kind of change what I'm doing based on what just happened. I'm going to adapt my build a little bit, but I'm going to end up coming back to what I originally wanted in the first place eventually.
So we actually had Pride move down with more Marines and take out another Spinecrawler, actually.
Yeah, Magnificent's playing it safe, though, so he threw up a couple more Spinecrawlers, and I think those are actually going to be what's saved in there. I think he could have actually lost that game right there if he got a little bit too overconfident and droned up a little bit too hard there, but he threw down those 2 extra spines, and I think those really just saved his life.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right. That was a little bit scary for a minute there, but I mean, Pride just immediately targeting down that Spinecrawler because he knew there was no transfuse energy, and
now Magnificent has a lot of Zerglings that he's moving across with, but Pride with a very nice little bit of Stutter Step Micro there, able to get a lot of Zergling kills there without taking too many Marine losses of his own, and now Magnificent just going to be forced to pull back with those Zerglings.
Yeah, and you know, this is an incredible set of pressure here, because look at the drone count. I mean, we just had another set of drones pop for Magnificent, but he's still down by 6. Pride really just taking advantage of, I mean, every opportunity he can, even with a gasless build, to put pressure on.
Yeah, and Pride is getting slowly ahead of in the Econ game, too. I mean, obviously he's match-based with Zerg. As a Zerg, you never want to be match-based with a Terran player, unless you are, I don't know, Destiny with his Super Infestors that were nerfed recently. He used to always say that you can be even bases with Terran or Protoss, but you need to be really, really good with your control. And then, of course, he would use Infestors, which are extremely cost-effective units here. But, yeah, I don't know. Being matched based on Terran still generally considered to be just a little tricky to do, and as we can see, he's not even up in the Harvester count. Well, actually, he just now got up in the Harvester count, but he was behind there for quite a while, so Pride, I would say, definitely has the economic advantage, especially considering he has those mules to fall back on.
Yeah, something I want to point out about the mules that, you know, I didn't really notice before, but I don't know how many people know this. If you put a mule on a close mineral patch, it actually collects a last set of minerals, starts to return it to the command center, and then dies on its way back, so you lose those minerals. Something that Pride has been... Yeah, that's actually true. Something that Pride has been doing is, on a mule's last go at the close mineral patch, he pulls it off so he doesn't lose those minerals. It's
really?
It's actually incredible when I saw him do that a couple of times. So
That is actually really cool. I did not know that at all, and that just makes me all the more impressed by Pride's play. The fact that he would be paying attention to that level of detail, that is actually quite ridiculous.
yeah, it's like seeing a computer play or something.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of seeing a computer player, Magnificent just did that one Zergling thing that we saw him do in previous games where he simultaneously sends out like 8 Zerglings all over the map and sets them to patrol like in like a second and a half. And so now we have Zerglings that are patrolling all over the map. Here, going to be checking out all the area around those bushes where you can't see on the other side. Going to be checking out all the bases as well with all these patrolling Zerglings. Really, really like that from Magnificent. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, these patrolling Zerglings are like the cheapest map hack you can ever get.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, Zerg in a way already has map hacks. You know, with their overlords, they can place overlords all over the map. Know the moment expansions go down. There are generally a couple of different schools of thought for that. Some Zerg players prefer to not put their overlords out there just because they really don't want their opponent to be able to just get one Viking and kill, I don't know, 800 minerals worth of overlords, and then they have to rebuild them all. Others are much more free with them, saying, you know what? They only cost 100 minerals each, and that is really worth it to know exactly when expansions are going down and exactly where my units or my opponent's units are.
All right, so it looks like we do have Pride pushing out with 3 siege tanks and a ton of Marines. Look at his main base here. He's got 3 reactors on his barracks, and he's even adding more. Oh, sorry, that's a second factory actually. And he's gonna probably take this gold and then try to push out and kill the Zerg player, probably. Try to.
Yeah, absolutely, and I really, really like this from Pride. As he moved out with his army, he said, you know what, the first thing that I'm going to be scared of, once my army is out here defending both my gold and my natural expansion, Mutalisks are going to be the big thing I'm scared of. So before he moved out, he was very careful to throw down these 2 missile turrets so that he will have the adequate defenses so that he's not leaving his base completely unguarded.
Yeah, very, the little things, man, it's so cool. It's so cool.
Yeah, and absolutely. And this is what it really comes down to. When you're talking about Grandmaster level play, anytime you're talking about, you know, bronze, silver, gold, even up to diamond level play, it's all about the macro. It's all about if you can macro better than your opponent, you're pretty much going to win. That's just pretty much the way it goes. But once you start to get up into the Master and Grandmaster, oh my god, a little bit of miscontrol there from Magnificent as he wasn't quite careful there, lost a lot of Zerglings carelessly.
And that was impressive too. Pride looking for the flank before moving in
Yeah,
on
absolutely.
his opponent. It's amazing.
Yeah. So as I was saying before, yeah, so when it comes down to Grandmaster levels where both players are like perfect with their macro, both players will be doing extremely well, extremely good job of macroing. It's going to be the small things that really, really matter. It's going to be those things like you were talking about, like with those mules, these little things like throwing up turrets before you move out, just so that you're safe there, so that they don't have that timing window to move in and try to take out a lot of SCVs when your army's out in the middle of the map.
And it looks like we're going to have a major engagement here in the middle of the map. Lings coming in from both sides, cleaning up a lot of Marines actually. Fungal growth coming down.
Man.
Yeah, it looks like Magnificent.
Keep in mind that these Lings are currently 2-2 in upgrades right now.
Oh,
these
my.
are really, really strong Marines, and he was able to clean up that attack force quite decisively. I would definitely put that all down to those 2-2 upgrades. They are so quick. Notice there is a drop going on in the bottom right position simultaneously. Pride did manage to pick off that 3rd expansion, but man, his attack at the front was just crushed.
Yeah, he lost a lot of supply there. Still up in supply, though, because he managed to take down that 3rd, and it looked like Magnificent is going to clean this drop up pretty easily. Oh, no, it doesn't have another
Looks like
fungal.
He doesn't quite managed to catch that in the fungal. I think he had 1 or 2 wasted fungals there. Notice Magnificent does have a few Lings planted at his opponent's, I guess what's going to be his 4th base there, right in the mineral line, not where they're going to block the command center. We'll see a lot of players want to put one Zergling in the middle so that they block that command center, but he's actually placing them where he's going to let his opponent throw down that command center, and then once he transfers a lot of SCVs there, he can pop up those Zerglings at any time to start to take him out.
Indeed. So we do have 148 to 113 supply. How is Pride this far ahead after crushing that, or getting crushed so badly? That's, oh, I don't understand.
Mules are good, man. Mules are real good. Mules plus gold minerals are real, real good.
Yeah, he hasn't even taken his gases at his 3rd, doesn't need them. Going mostly a Marine composition here. And, you know, he's just doing a good job harassing with these Marines every once in a while.
He is. There's actually a drop going down in the bottom right position. Once again, looks like he's going to be able to deny that hatchery. No, actually, the Lings are going to be able to get there in time to clean that up. But man, he's moving forward with a lot of Marines and siege tanks into the middle of the map. All Pride wants to do now, he knows he's ahead in the food count. He just wants to force exchanges. Force, constantly doing that to keep his opponent wear down. He wants to do anything but prevent his opponent from getting up lots of bases and expanding all over the map. This is really, really smart play here by Pride.
Yeah, and so